This is a figure that represents the countercurrent mechanism. This is the mechanism by which the mammals have the ability to concentrate their urine in the nephrons. They can excrete concentrated urine and conserve most of the water in the body. In this figure, you are shown the loop of Henle, which is U-shaped, and the collecting duct. Proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, Bowman's capsule, and glomerulus. This is a blood vessel which is also U-shaped and very close to loop of Henle. This is called vasa recta. Now in the vasa recta, the blood flows in opposite direction. This is the descending segment. This is the ascending segment of vasa recta. Blood flows in opposite direction. This is called countercurrent. This is loop of Henle. The filtrate, the blood is filtered, and this is the filtrate that is flowing. The filtrate flows in opposite direction in the loop of Henle. This is the ascending limb. This is the descending limb. The flow of filtrate in the two limbs of loop of Henle is also in opposite direction. This is called countercurrent. So countercurrent and the proximity between vasa recta, loop of Henle, are mainly responsible for concentrating the urine in the nephrons. This is the cortex, the outer region of kidney, outer medulla, the inner portion of the kidneys. In the cortex, the concentration of the filtrate, when the blood is filtered, the filtrate enters the nephrons. The concentration of the filtrate in the cortex is about 300 milliosmol per liter. By the time the filtrate reaches the medulla, inner medulla, through the tubules, through the nephrons, the concentration increases to about 1200 milliosmol per liter. From 300 to 1200, the concentration increases. Now, medullary interstitium. This is the fluid, this is the portion in between the limbs of nephrons and vasa recta. This fluid is called medullary interstitium or interstitial fluid. Now, from the ascending segment, of loop of Henle, sodium chloride is transported out. Sodium chloride moves out of the ascending limb of loop of Henle. The sodium chloride is transported to interstitial fluid from the ascending limb of loop of Henle. The same sodium chloride now enters the descending limb of vasa recta. This sodium chloride now enters the descending limb of vasa recta, and when it reaches the ascending limb of vasa recta, the sodium chloride is again transported out. It is again returned to the interstitial fluid. Now, urea. Urea is a nitrogenous waste. Small amount of urea is transported from the collecting duct in the medullary interstitium. Urea is the major nitrogenous waste present in the filtrate. It is transported to medullary interstitium from the collecting duct. This urea, a very small amount of urea, now enters the thin segment of ascending limb. This is the thin segment of ascending limb of loop of Henle. The urea is transported into the thin segment of loop of Henle. When this urea circulates through the ascending limb and reaches the collecting duct, it is again transported out to the interstitial fluid. So this is called counter current of sodium chloride and urea. These are the two main solutes which are responsible for maintaining a concentration gradient in the interstitial fluid. Sodium chloride and urea. These are the two solutes which are mainly responsible for maintaining osmotic gradient in the interstitial fluid. And this mechanism is called counter current. This mechanism allows passage of water from the collecting duct into the interstitium. This is the collecting duct where the urine is finally formed. The water molecules are transported out from the collecting duct. The urine is concentrated to 200 to 1200 milliosmol per liter. So this mechanism is called counter current mechanism, which involves vasa recta, loop of Henle and collecting duct. Because of this mechanism, the human and all mammals can concentrate their urine and thereby conserving most of the body water.